I'm starting a podcast called Between the Lines. I will be doing mostly Prem predictions and different segments in it. So, hope you like it. And this will be an intro podcast. So, let's take a deeper dive into what I'll be doing on the podcast.
So, Isaac, tell us a little bit about your personal experiences with soccer.
Okay, so I'm a U17 player for the Charlotte Independence Pro Academy. And I'm a junior in high school, and I'm looking to go play pro in college soccer. I've been playing soccer since I was 5 years old, and ever since I started, I've just been in love with the sport. I started my YouTube a couple years back, and I did more challenge videos and stuff. I think I'm coming back, and I'll still do some challenge videos and mix it up with podcasts, just because podcasts are they're easier to do, and I feel like it's a good environment just to talk with you guys. So I'll just start mixing up the content more, and I'm bringing back the YouTube. I'll try and post at least one video weekly, whether it's a podcast or it's a challenge video.
What teams do you support, and what are your favorite players? What players do you look up to?
Okay, so my favorite team is City, obviously. And my favorite players, so I'm a midfielder. So my favorite players really are De Bruyne is one of them, Conte, Modric. I would probably say De Bruyne is my favorite player, but I mean, obviously, I watch film and stuff and just like a lot of different players, different attributes from them, so.
Who do you model your game most after?
Okay, so I feel like mostly I model my game after De Bruyne because I kind of play in a more attacking role in the center mid, and obviously I'm not as good as De Bruyne, not yet, but yeah, I feel like I like to go in wide areas. I take people on sometimes. I like carrying the ball. So I feel like I model my game after De Bruyne the most if I had to pick a player.
What topics are you going to be following most on this podcast?
Okay, so mostly I'll be talking about the MLS, the Premier League, and the Champions League. I might have a little bit of La Liga or something in there, but mostly it'll be that just because those are the leagues I watch. We'll have different topics, there'll be one, an argumentative topics. There'll be, probably some reactions. And then there'll just be some, talking about what happened, probably. So, yeah, that's what I'll be talking about on my podcast.
Why did you decide to start a podcast?
So, what went into my mind when I decided to start a podcast was just, I wanted to come back to YouTube. It's been basically a full year since I've uploaded to YouTube. But the problem was when school started, it was hard to edit and upload weekly, which you really need to do for YouTube. So I decided to start a podcast because it's something I can do. Just invite a couple friends over, which the podcast will be basically every single episode will be a group episode, at least 2 to 4 people probably. And just invite a couple friends over and talk about what's happening in soccer and do that type of stuff. And it's just much easier to get out content to y'all and also make it good content. But I still will try and do some challenge videos and some of the old stuff that I used to post on my channel.
So we all know you're a hardworking student. And how do you plan on balancing your academics, your sports, and your content creation?
Okay, so I'm a student at heart, as you can see. My bookshelf is full. I read hours every day. Hours. So I love school. I love everything. I love math. I love science. I pay a lot of attention in my classes, and I get great grades because of it. It's just the work pays off. So definitely academics at the top, and then probably soccer. Obviously, I'm a soccer player, so soccer's next. I work hard in soccer too, and then content creation. I've always put last just because I'm a soccer player and a student before a content creator. So I still try and get content out weekly, but it's pretty hard. So. That's how I put it. But academics is way up there. What's poppin', guys? It's Isaac Shear Soccer here, back with the podcast. I'm here with
Gavin.
And today we will be rating the transfers this transfer window, the summer, on a tier list. So we have 5 tiers here, and we're gonna do all the biggest transfers and how we think they are, put them on a tier list. So let's start off. Okay, the first one we're gonna do is Lewandowski, and he costs $55 million. And if all the prices aren't exactly right, there are different sources that say different prices, so they may not all be quite right. Okay, so You can start off. What do you think about this?
All right, so as a Barca fan myself, I think this is a great transfer. I'm not sure where the money came from, but this transfer made me very happy. I think Lewandowski is a very Barcelona-style player, not very powerful, not very pacey, but very good on the ball and just very clean.
Okay, so I think he fits Barca's system great, but with their financial situation, I will say $55 million for a 34-year-old striker that's a lot, and I don't know if they can keep having these huge transfer windows, but we'll see. So I think I'm gonna give it. I think I'm fine with A. I would say A or B just because of the money, but I do think he's gonna be great for them. I mean, I think he's a great player.
He is a bit old though.
Yeah, 50 for a 34-year-old is kind of old for anyone, especially a team with $1 million a day or $1 billion a day.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one. We're going to switch up to another striker. We're going to do Haaland for 66.
I'm going to let you start with this one.
I'm a City fan, and really, I think you can only go one place with this, and I think it's S. I mean, I don't think he's necessarily like a perfect City striker, but I think we can adapt to him, and he's a fantastic striker. He's like 21 years old, and $66 million for him was a steal. Like, he was supposed to be like 120 plus for sure, so... What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think with City losing a lot of their attacking options this season, I think Haaland will have to step up, and I think there's no one better to do it, to be honest.
Yeah, so
I think S tier is the best one.
He probably is the best transfer of the window, just because, I mean, that money for a player of his name and stuff, and I think Pep will make him fit into the squad right away, so I think he'll be successful. I'm calling it right now. I'm guessing 20 goals this season. Not crazy, but a real solid number. Okay. Next one we have is, we'll stay with City, Calvin Phillips for $53 million. Or maybe euros. I don't even know, honestly. $53 million. They're pretty close. I'll say this transfer, it's not like awful, but I don't love it. I think we could use some center mid depth, but I don't think Phillips fits as well, and I also think Phillips is a bit overrated. I'm gonna say it now. He's good, but I wouldn't pay more than 40 for him, and yeah, I just think he's a bit overrated.
I think it was a completely pointless transfer, especially in a team like City. He's not gonna be playing anywhere higher than like a defensive mid. I don't think he really is very good going attack. Or he's good going attacking, but not City quality going attacking. And I just think with Rodri there, I think it was just pointless to buy him.
Yeah, I do think Rodri kind of just makes him kind of useless, honestly. So I would say F. I would say, you think it's F?
I think it's F.
I don't think it's that bad.
All right, we can go C.
Yeah. So we're doing 5 tiers, but C is the second worst one, just because it doesn't really even out. So C is the second worst one. Okay, the next one, Sterling for $61 million.
I think this was a good transfer. I don't think it was a great transfer, but I think the way Chelsea plays, I think $61 million is. I mean, I think it's probably about the right price for Sterling, where he is, his age, and everything. I think he'll have a decent season. I think he'll be probably one of the best attacking or probably the best attacking option Chelsea has, and just. I think it was an okay transfer. Nothing much really to it, I think.
Okay, so yeah, as a City fan, I was happy about it, but also if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd probably be happy. They kind of suck on offense. He's kind of like Werner, but does everything better. But also, he's just fine. So I think he'll be successful, but also it's not like some great transfer. So I would go B tier, honestly.
I don't know. I think they have the quality. Back to you saying they suck on offense. I think they have the quality on offense. I think they just don't play a way that their offense can really thrive in. I
think they suck on offense. I think every offensive transfer they've had lately has kind of been disappointing. So I think they suck on offense.
B tier?
B tier's fine, yeah. Honestly, I think both sides of the deal are pretty happy with it.
Yeah. But it's not like it's a steal at all.
Yeah, nah. Pretty fair price. Alright, next we have Koulibaly to Chelsea for $42 million.
I think this is a fantastic transfer. I think Koulibaly is one of the best defenders in the world. He's been stuck at Napoli forever, just doing whatever, kind of Whatever Napoli.
No, whatever. No one pays attention to Napoli.
So he's just chilling at Napoli, but I think he'll fit into Chelsea right away. Their play style especially will, in the 3-back, I would say probably will still play the 3-back, him in the middle, replacing an older Thiago Silva. I think he'll be just a perfect transfer for Chelsea and fit in right away.
Yeah, I would agree with that just because
And 41 million is really light for.
41's a solid price, and like they needed a center back. Everyone knew they needed a center back. I don't know that much about Koulibaly, but I've watched him a couple times and he seems good and good transfer fee, and everyone like loves him. So it was probably S tier, honestly.
Yeah, and with the loss of Christensen too.
Yeah, Christensen and Rudiger going out. I think Chelsea may have a tough year this year, but that's a great transfer for him.
Barca taking all their transfers.
Next, we had Nunez or however you say it, for 83.
I think this was an average transfer. I mean, I think he'll be okay. I don't think he'll live up to the hype, but I think he'll prove that the people are really saying he's going to be a complete bust. I think he'll just be an average player and not a solid squad, similar to Diego Jota. And, I mean, I don't really see much to it.
Okay, so I think that Liverpool, they do great recruiting. I think this is a bit of a miss. I think 83 million for him is a bit too much, and I think he won't be like awful by any means, but I just think all that power up top, I don't think he's gonna end up being a starter or being that effective on the team, honestly. I think he doesn't really fit into the play style. They'll probably try and adapt for him, but I just don't think he's really that great. So I would go C.
I mean, I'd say he's probably fine.
Okay, the next one we have is Eriksen for free. Alright, so I'll just preface this. We're not just because it's a good player on a free transfer going to be like, oh my god, like, of course he's a good transfer, because obviously it is pretty good to get a free player who's still good. But Eriksen, I think he's going to be good. But I think the United fans who just don't know what they're talking about act like he's going to be the next De Bruyne. He's not going to be that great, but he'll do good, especially their midfield is, man, they're not looking very good. I'll just say that. So I think he's a good transfer for him, free, so I think it was good business. But they have not a great window either.
I kind of have a different opinion. I think United's midfield is just awful, but I think Eriksen, I mean, it's fine, take him on his free transfer, see if it works out, but I don't even think he'll play for Man United. I think he'll just ride the bench and just get on every once in a while. I just don't think he'll be good enough for him, even though they already suck.
Yeah, because their midfield is awful.
So
Eriksen did have a great year last
year. I'm going with this B just because it's a free transfer. So
B? B's fine. I will say that I think Eriksen is better if his team isn't amazing. I think like the worse his team is, the better he is. Not that he can only play in awful teams, but okay. So the next one we have is Lisandro Martinez from Ajax to United for 57 million.
You can start with this one.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually tried to watch Ajax a few times. They always played at the same time as City for some reason, so I didn't get to see him too much. I'll say I didn't really notice this guy. But they all love him. Of course, the United fans love him, man. They'll take anyone they can get. I've heard good things about him. I guess I would go, pretty high price it seems like. I would go B, I guess. I don't really know, honestly.
It seems like a lot of money. Who knows? I have no idea how it's going to end up. It's been divided. Anybody can shine for a couple weeks and do awful for a couple weeks.
Yeah, let's be real.
Nice.
He's going into a bad system. I won't judge the transfer based on how bad everything is at United right now. I do think Ten Hag is a good coach, though. Are you fine with B?
Yeah.
I don't even know why we put him on the list, considering we barely know him. But I will say, he didn't really stand out to me at Ajax. And Ajax does have some players that I really like. Next we have Gabriel Jesus for 45.
This is a transfer, personally, I love. I think Jesus will fill the hole. Well, partly fill the hole at striker left at Arsenal, and I think just it's something we needed. It's something that Arsenal. It's something we need. I think going forward, he's gonna finally get some good minutes, which he didn't really get at City. And I think as he starts getting into the squad and as he starts playing more, I think he'll start to shine more.
I love this transfer for Arsenal. I was fine with it as a City fan, even though he's playing good at the end of the season. I think it's time for something different for him. But I think it was a fair price for both sides, and I think he'll thrive in Arsenal. I wouldn't go quite S, but I would say A tier. I'd say it's like a solid transfer. And I'd say Arsenal, some people probably think they're going to be like great this year. They've had a pretty good transfer window.
Winning the league.
It's still a work in progress. It's still going to take some time, but they'll do good again.
Winning the league.
Zinchenko for 39.
Again, this is another transfer I love. I think 39 is a pretty fair price, and I mean, if we're gonna be honest, left back is something we desperately needed. It's something we would have died without this season. I think Zinchenko is very good. He wasn't getting any minutes at City, and he's a player who needs to be in the squad somewhere because he's just good enough with just City with Kyle Walker, Cancelo. It's hard to get past them too.
So the way I feel about this transfer is that like I just don't think he's that fit to be a like top 6 outside back. I think he could actually play in the center mid for Arsenal, even though they have better center mids than their outside backs. But I think it's a fine transfer. I mean, 39 million is probably a fair price too. What would you go for this?
I'll go A, but it sounds like you disagree.
I would go.
We can settle at B. But
I would go. Yeah, I think. I think he's good. Don't get me wrong, but I just think it's gonna be hard for him to make a big impact on the top 6 team.
Well, I mean, he's a left back. He's not gonna make a big impact, but I think he's perfect for Arsenal.
Richarlison for 60. He went to Arsenal, right? I'll start off. I hate this transfer. Richarlison is not worth $60 million. He is not worth $60 million. I would not pay more than 30 for him. I think Richarlison is fine. Can't really finish. Doesn't keep an even head. He works hard. He has good mentality, but I don't like Richarlison that much. And I think it wasn't really necessary for Arsenal.
I agree. I have no words for this transfer. No words.
I would go F tier. I think this is an awful transfer.
I agree. Unpopular opinion, but
Yeah, no, I don't see it in Richarlison. I really don't think he's special at all. Okay, so the next one we got Lingard to Forest for free. Personally, I love this transfer. I just started watching soccer like 5 or 6 years ago for Rio. But, like, who doesn't love Lingard? And then Forrest coming back into the Prem. Like, I feel like everyone wanted to see that happen. So I feel like it's just a match made in heaven. I don't think he's going to be, like, Messi for them. But I think he'll help him out and help him stay in the league. I think they'll probably stay in the league.
I think it's a good transfer. But how much did they have to pay him to bring him in? With 150 or 200,000 a week, I think it's a bit much. But, you know, I really wish him the best. I really hope he does well. Everybody's rooting for Nottingham Forest going into this into the season. But, I mean, I think he'll be all right. I don't think he's worth the money they're paying him and whatever. I'll go.
It's 10 million. That's how much they're paying him. I think it's not going to be quite West Ham because he went crazy at West Ham. But I think he can do something close to that again. I think he is. He gets his confidence playing for those smaller teams. He likes the atmosphere, and I think he'll be good. So, dang, we just got a lot of players at B. Do we want to move one of them?
Nah, we can keep him. I think we can put him in A. I think we'll put Lingard in A.
We'll put Lingard in A. He's not as good as the other people in A, though.
No, but it's a small club getting a big player.
Yeah. It's cool for Forest, and everyone's rooting for Forest. Okay, now we have Coutinho to Villa for 17. He was on loan there at the end of last year. You can start.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good deal, whatever. I think he'll be pretty average player in the squad in the Prem. I don't think he'll make that big of a difference for him. I think it's a good transfer for Villa, but nothing really special about it.
Okay, I checked. Coutinho's 30. I would just say this deal, I don't really love it. It's fine. I don't think he's gonna make much of an impact. 17 for a team like that, it's a decent amount of money for a team like that. And I don't think he's gonna make much of an impact. And he's 30, so I would go either B or C. It doesn't really. I think he's kind of a.
I
useless
completely
transfer.
agree with
So are we going C? Because
Yeah,
C is a little
C.
more empty. Okay. So my sources have been told. Are you sure about this?
I'm just sure. No. Okay, so I heard it. I was like, I was almost sure he went to Tottenham, but he suggested Arsenal. I was like, it's a shit transfer for Tottenham.
Hey, no cussing.
It's a bad transfer for Tottenham too. I don't think.
I think
Wherever Charleston's going, it's bad. I was almost sure he wasn't going to Arsenal, but
honestly, it didn't even really apply to the club that much where he went. I just think if he went to Tottenham, same thing applies to Tottenham. It's just as bad. It doesn't really matter what club it was. It's still an awful transfer. So the fact he went to Tottenham doesn't make it any better. Still F tier. My bad. I don't know why I thought he was awesome.
okay,
Okay, the next one we have is Rafinha for 55. He went to Barca.
I think it's a bit much for Rafinha. I think it's a great fit for Barca, but they really are just paying a lot of money for all these players. I don't know where this money's coming from, but I'm not going to question it. Whatever happens, happens. I think he's going to be great at Barca, though. I think he's going to fit in well into the team. He'll definitely end up being a starter. I think it's good business, other than the money.
Okay. With Barca, it always goes back to the money. And I think he's good. I don't think he'll be great. I think he'll be good, nice, solid. He'll probably start a fair bit. And just 55 million, it's just hard to get over for a team that much in debt. But, I mean, I think it's solid. I'd probably go B tier.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. Next player we have is Christensen to Barca on a free.
I like this transfer. Very much. I think that going forward, we're going to need a center back like Christensen. He fits into the system. He's very good technically. He's kind of an idiot sometimes, so that kind of fits into Barca too. And I think he's going to end up being a starter. I think he'll play almost every game all season.
Okay, so I think Christensen's a little overrated. They did get him on a free, so it does save all their debt. They're not going more into debt with that one. But, yeah, I think he fits their system relatively well. I don't think he'll be bad. I just don't think he'll, star on the team. So, I probably wouldn't go A just because I don't think he's that good, honestly.
I disagree.
You want to go A? We can go
I think
A.
we can go A.
We can go A. And it looks like my camera is about to die.
So we'll be right back. For the record, I knew Richarlison wasn't a top the Arsenal transfer. I just got really confused when he said it, and I just didn't want to sound stupid. So.
But he doesn't know how to pronounce his name still. Okay, so now we're going to do a little segment that I like to call Fact or Fiction. We'll do this at least for the next few episodes. And the winner will get however much money I make off these videos. So Prime, sponsor me. Okay, who was, no. The Arsenal manager before Arteta was Unai Emery. And you have to answer either fact or fiction.
Fact.
That is a fact. 1 for 1. It's going to be 3 questions.
Yeah.
I'll give him $10. I'll give him $10.
He won't give me anything. He's
No.
broke.
I'll pay for his Chipotle there. Okay, I have a bug though, so I actually will. Mario Balotelli only had 2 assists in the Man City uniform.
That's a fact.
That's fiction. He
Wait.
had 1 assist. And his 1 assist was the famous Aguero goal. Okay, the next one. Last one. You're 1 for 2. You kind of need this one because other people may be looking better than you. Yao Felix is the second most expensive transfer in football history.
I don't think he is anymore. No.
You don't think so?
No.
Would you like to try and name who is? I'll give you an extra point if you name the
Who's
top
it?
two.
Okay, so Coutinho is more expensive, and Coutinho, and I feel like and Neymar.
Wrong.
What?
Neymar and Mbappe. Yao is third. I think Coutinho is like fourth or fifth.
That was close.
Okay.
I still got.
He got 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3.
So he owes me Chipotle.
No, I said
Whoa.
for the next couple videos, whoever gets the most.
Okay.
We will be doing a Prem prediction, so stay tuned for that. So I'll try and upload a couple podcasts just to get it started, and then start posting some challenge videos with it. So back to the transfers. We have 6 or 7 more, I think. So the last one we did was Christensen. Let's go to another center back. We have De Ligt to
Bayern.
I didn't know that one at all. I'm not gonna lie. But I do know De Ligt. You can say
I think this is a fantastic transfer. I think Bayern's really building a squad for next year, even though they lost Lewandowski. I think just going forward, their defense is really building up, especially with De Ligt. I think one of the best, top 5 in the world at center back. I think he's been wasting away at Juventus. To be fair, he won't be doing that much in the league at Bayern, but going forward, I think in the Champions League, I think he'll be a massive, massive player to have, and I think he'll make a difference for Bayern.
I agree with this. I think De Ligt is a top 3 center back in the world for sure. I think he's a difference maker. I think 73 million. It's a fair price. I mean, it's
Maguire cost 80, so.
Yeah, I will say it's an expensive defender, but also what's his name is worth an expensive defender. Yeah, De Ligt is worth an expensive defender. So I would either go A or S with this one,
I'm
honestly.
going A, not S.
Okay, we can go A.
Because he was a little expensive.
Yeah. I don't even think he was expensive. He was a fair price. Okay, so the next one we have is Mane for 32. I'll start. I think it's S tier. I don't know how Liverpool only got 32 mil for him.
He only had 1 year left on his contract and he was leaving anyway.
I still think they should have gotten more than 32 mil for him. I don't think he was for sure going to leave. I think they either chose Salah or Mane. And I think Mane is at least as good as Salah. I'll say it here. But I think that's an S tier, honestly. I think he'll help them so much. Losing Lua, they lost out on a little offense. Even though Mane doesn't play the same position, I think he'll help make up for some of those goals that Mbappe scored. And I think it was a great addition. Lua, I said, no?
You said Mbappe.
Oh, Lewandowski.
I agree completely. I mean, I think with the loss of Lewandowski, they're going to start playing different play style. They have very, very fast players on the wing. Just very deep, too. I think they're going to play... I don't even know how they're going to play, but it's definitely going to be different. That's for sure.
Yeah, who even cares how they play until Champions League starts, honestly. Okay, so where would you go with this one?
Yes.
Yeah, S. I think we need to fill out the tiers a little bit. Got a...
The only person
tiers
that
are
has F is the Tottenham transfer, Richarlison.
No one likes Tottenham. I will say, Tottenham otherwise has done good. We didn't put the other names on here.
70 million is a big hit for someone like Richarlison.
I think we may have put like one other Tottenham name. They've done good. They haven't had like gigantic transfers. That's why we haven't put it on there. But they've done good otherwise.
I don't know how this idiot thought he went to Arsenal.
But also, we hate Tottenham here, so.
We do hate Tottenham.
Okay, so the next one we have is Rudiger for free.
Fantastic. Perfect player for Real, especially with, Militao and Nacho back there. I mean, I think he's miles ahead of both of them, if I'm going to be honest, and I think he's just massive. I think he'll upgrade this Real Madrid squad who just won the Champions League, and I think since Barca's putting together such a great squad, I think there will be a harder fight for the league, and I think Rudiger may be the player who puts them over the top.
Okay, so I think free, obviously it's great. He's getting up there. He's not old, but I think he's around 30. And I think he's class. I think he's one of the best center backs in the world. I will say he hasn't looked great in preseason. It is preseason, but I would go A just because I think they could have used a more youthful center back. but also they got him on a free. So who wouldn't want Rudiger on a free? So I wouldn't go S, but I think he's gonna do great.
I think it works. The starters are Nacho and Militao, right?
Yeah.
Just make
Alaba sometimes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Alaba's.
I think he's still better, much better than Alaba.
Alaba's not really a center back in my opinion. I think.
But he plays there because Ferland Mendy is just class.
Okay, the next one we have is Tchouaméni for 88 million.
I think it's alright. I mean, putting the youth into the midfield, they're slowly replacing the ancient midfield they have, and I mean, with Camavinga last year, whatever his name this year, I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try. I think it's just good business. I think eventually him and Camavinga will get into the starting lineup as the other two become cripples.
I actually think they have basically completely set their midfield up for the future. I think with Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and I think it's Valverde, isn't that the last one?
Valverde.
Yeah, Valverde. I think they're all great. 90 million, I don't know much about Tchouaméni. I actually saw him play in a France, Nations League game. Didn't look that great, but I've heard great things about him. It's expensive, but also they do need that midfield youth, and I think they've got it all set up now. So I would go B. Yeah, probably B. It wasn't at all steal. I think it was the most expensive transfer of the window, and when you got other players moving around, especially Haaland's just a hard one to look over for his age and how good he is. Then I think it's not.
Was he really the most expensive transfer?
I think so. I think Nunez was close, but I think he was the most expensive. Okay, next we just got two more. We have Koundé for 55. You can start with this as the Barca fan.
I don't like it. I think, we're in need of a center back, but the 5'11" center back, he's good on the, or 5'10", whatever. He's short. He's okay in the air. He doesn't get up very well, but I just don't think it's what we needed. I think he'll end up playing a little bit of outside back, and I just don't think it's what we needed, especially for 55 million. I think, just did it to piss Chelsea off, which is okay, but it's not what we needed.
I agree. Didn't think it was really necessary. 55 million for him, not an attractive looking price, but obviously they have an unlimited bank account is the way they're spending, so
Are we going F?
Doesn't really matter. Oh, it's tough to go F, honestly.
Anybody in the same world as Richarlison is kind of disrespectful.
It's between C and F, man. I really think it was a waste of money.
We can put him in F, I think.
Yeah, we'll go F. But he's not Richarlison. He's not Richarlison. I think Richarlison.
We need to make an extra one for Richarlison.
Yeah. Okay, the next one we have, and the very last one we have, is Pogba for free. I'll start. I like it. Going back to the roots, I think Pogba still has it in him, and I also think the biggest thing that I like about this transfer is the league fits him well. The pace of play is more like international play, where he does great in international play, and I think part of that, it's not just that he's not playing for Man United. That is a part,
That's a
but
big part of it.
but I think part of it is the pace of play of the Prem is miles off of the pace of play of international play, and I think Italy is closer to this, so I think it'll be good for Italy, or for Juve, and it was also free, so.
You do have to mention he's already going to be out for 4 months or something.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
You didn't hear about that?
It is?
Yeah, he already sent you back 4 months.
I think I didn't see that, actually. That's just unlucky. I'm not even gonna weigh that in.
I think he may have faked an injury, just living his best. Nah, he didn't. I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
He went back home, or not. It's not his home, but went back to his beginnings, his roots, and gets injured right away. That's just unfortunate. I wish him the best.
Yeah, I wouldn't even weigh that into the transfer because he wasn't hurt when he got there.
Solid A or B.
Yeah, I'll go A. I think he's gonna
fair enough.
be good there. Okay, that is it. Comment down below if you think it was good. You probably won't like it that much, but comment who you think should be different. And
Richarlison is going to top.
If you like Richarlison, if you say Richarlison,
Go on, get away from our Richarlison.
Find a Tottenham podcast because we are not Tottenham fans.
I'd be shocked if a Tottenham podcast like Richarlison either, to be honest. Who likes
who? Yeah, who? Okay, so
Haaland for 67, Richarlison for 70. Who's gonna have a better season? Let's be real.
Alright,
For Charleston.
thank you for watching the podcast. I'm Isaac,
I'm Gavin.
and we're signing out.